If this were 200 years ago, workplace bullies would just challenge us to a duel. At least it's honest. I know it doesn't seem like it with all the mass shootings and the police brutality, but statistically we are now living in a far less violent culture than we used to. And that, combined with advancements in the field of human psychology over the past 200 years or so, has resulted in a culture of manipulation. Physical violence has been replaced by psychological violence. Manipulation is pretty much one of the core defining characteristics of narcissism. All narcissists expect you to whip out your crystal ball and then punish you for not reading their minds and giving them exactly what they want, which they never articulated. Workplace bullies are no different. Workplace bullies do indirect communication. They never articulate their desires or their needs directly. Why is that? Two reasons. The first is poor verbal skills. The red flags of workplace bullying are the big three: no boundaries, no empathy, and no self-awareness. I'm gonna go ahead and add to those poor verbal skills. Intelligent and educated people who cannot string together a single articulate, coherent, or grammatically correct sentence in their own native language. If you have to finish a coworker's sentences for them, that is a very good indication that you have a workplace bully on your hands. Narcissists and workplace bullies also do something called word salad, just this elliptical, nonsensical, verbal diarrhea of the mouth. If you've ever had to sit through that, it's like, oh my God, that is literally 5 minutes of my life I will never get back. We get verbal skills from reading, and reading also teaches us to think abstractly. That's why these people are so literal-minded. Narcissists also do the narcissistic monologue, just holding you hostage for literal hours while they blather on about their diabetes or their celiac disease or their lupus or whatever narcissistic sob story they can come up with, all while consistently dehumanizing you and interrupting you, cutting you off, shutting you up, and shutting you down, and refusing to acknowledge your humanity, your ideas, your thoughts, or your feelings. I know that when they do that, it feels like they are trying to project something onto you, but what they are actually doing is trying to take your energy from you. They're feeding. The other reason workplace bullies are so woefully inarticulate is that they're full of it. They can never express what they want directly because everything they want is nonsense. Hey Claire, I need a webcam for my monitor because I'm going to do a Zoom webinar. That is a legitimate need. Hey Claire, I need access to your inner being, your emotional body, in order to feed off of your soul as a source of supply in a hostile takeover and a soul rape. That is not a legitimate need. Often, workplace bullies get abusive because they are not getting what they want. And because workplace bullies are narcissists with no self-awareness, in their defense, they may not even know what they want. And you may have done this too, entered into an interaction, a relationship, without being absolutely clear about what it is you really want, and then experiencing irritation and frustration when you don't get what you want. The mind games workplace bullies all play are just the tip of the iceberg. You know how it goes. By now you know the drill. The workplace bully has a prepared speech for you about a friend, someone, or somebody, these people, or some other indeterminate group of people, or even just themselves. You're supposed to intuitively understand that the workplace bully is not talking about other people or themselves, but is really talking about you and sending you a message and usually insulting you. For example, if the workplace bully wants to call you fat and stupid, he will tell a little story about a friend who is so fat and stupid, someone or somebody who is so fat and stupid, these people or some other indeterminate group of people who are so fat and stupid, or just I'm so fat, I'm so stupid, etc. When workplace bullies want to insult you, they usually do it with mind games. The thing about the mind games is that they create a manipulative society for the rest of us, where everyone now assumes that everyone else always has an angle. The culture of manipulation has gotten so bad at this point that if you are an honest person, be prepared to be accused of playing mind games anyway. Even the slightest offhand comment is misinterpreted as some kind of passive-aggressive judgment when you intended nothing of the sort. Even my own therapist, with whom I worked for 19 years, has said things to me like, wait, are you talking about me? If I have something to say to you, I'm going to look you in the eye, use your name, use the second person, and say it directly to your face. It's like, no, I wasn't talking about you. I really was talking about my friend. Also, indirect communication can be cultural. When I was in graduate school, a professor said that in Spanish, when you write directly, you are interpreted as talking down to your reader because you assume that he's so stupid that he can't understand subtext. I know that in many cultures all over the world, people trade all day in this sort of flowery obfuscation because direct communication is considered insulting and offensive. Blunt is a bad word. That being said, I have zero respect for indirect communication and I refuse to participate. I pride myself on my facility with language and I try always to be absolutely clear because that's my name. I have the freedom, luxury, and privilege to always express my desires and my needs absolutely directly because I'm not full of it. I've had some narcissistic bosses try to get me to do stuff by playing mind games using various modal auxiliaries. You can do this. You could do that. You might do something like that. Have you thought about doing something like that? I'm not doing it. If you choose to communicate indirectly with me, then I choose to not hear anything you're saying. I hope that helps. Take care.